What's up guys and welcome back to another video. Today I will use CHAT GPT to determine my pickems for the Perfect World Shanghai Major 2024. And let's see how far we get, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, first off, I'm using the Major IM simulator so you can see the matchups and what seeding it will be for the future games. So that's going to be determined on, I don't know, depends on the seeding and how they will carry on their matchups. They're always very difficult. So that's why we're going to use ChatGPT today, and we're going to do every single matchup we have to. It's going to take a time, so let's see what we can get. Okay, our first matchup would be Furia versus Gamer Legion, which is the first one to do. So we'll have to get into our chat GPT. And yeah, I asked them already who will win the CS2 Shanghai Major. They like to do a lot of text. So I can't predict the future, but I can tell you that the winner of the CS2 Shanghai Major or any major tournament strong contenders in Dota 2 majors. Ultimately, it will come down to the team's ability to adapt CS2's new mechanics and the competitive landscape, so we'll have to wait and see who can come out on top in Shanghai. So the answer to who's going to win the major will not be answered. Okay, that's not very good. As I said, the first one was Gamer Legion versus Furia. Who will win? Gamer Legion or Furia? Let's see what it says. Both Gamer Legion and Furia are strong teams, but their chances of winning would depend on several factors, including their current form, individual player performance, and map vetoes. Here's a brief breakdown. Recent form. Gamer Legion has been a bit of rise lately. They made us Furia top tier. Okay, ChatGPT writes a lot, so I won't read everything out of that. Ultimately, it will come down to Gamer Legion's ability to handle Furia's aggression and how will Furia manage how to pick a winner based on the consistency. Furia might have a slight edge due to their explosive playstyle and experience in high-stake matches, but Gamer Legion could definitely surprise if they come in with a good counter strategy. Okay, so the first matchup would be Furia, which is correct. Now we have Virtus Pro versus MIBR as our next matchup. Match between Virtus Pro and MIBR would be an exciting one. Both teams have unique strength, and outcome would depend on various factors such as the current form, map pool, individual player performances, which is the same answer as the ChatGPT gave me before. Prediction: Virtus Pro would likely be the favorite to win this matchup given their solid form against top tier teams. MIBR could definitely make a close game, especially if they capitalize on their experience and bring the heat early on. Okay, so that's our next one then. So for the one, we have Virtus Pro already selected. Next up match would be Team Liquid versus Cloud9. We're going to take this. Who will win? Okay, who will win? Team Liquid or Cloud9? A match between Team Liquid and Cloud9 will be a fantastic spectacle. As both teams have proven to be the top tier contenders in CSGO and now CS2. His breakdown of the two teams stack up against each other. It's a very close matchup, but if I had to choose based on the current form and playstyle, Cloud9 might have a slight advantage due to their aggressive tempo and individual skill. That said, Liquid is always formidable. Okay, if they would have a slight edge, this is not a clear answer. Okay, next is Cloud9 into that one. I know, maybe not a favorite, but that's what ChatGPT tells us, the slight edge for Cloud9. Next matchup will be Complexity versus FlyQuest. The matchup between Complexity and FlyQuest would be an interesting one in CS2, especially as both teams have been improving and are known for having strong rosters. Let's break it down. Complexity is likely to be the favorite in this matchup based on their more consistent tactical approach and experience on the top level. However, FlyQuest could certainly pull off an upset if they catch Complexity off guard with their unpredictable aggression. Complexity, slight edge, so we'll go for Complexity there. Okay, so then we have to go for a Complexity pick, which is picked already. Big versus Passion UA, which is the next matchup here. Yeah, okay, that's not up-to-date answer. So the next one would be Big, which is picked already. Next matchup would be Fnatic versus Wildcard. Okay, what's then the next question? Who will win? Prediction: Fnatic would be the favorite to win in most circumstances, given their history, tactical depth, and individual skill across the roster. Okay, it doesn't give me a proper prediction, so I'll go with Wildcard, to be honest. Okay, for my prediction, I would go then with Wildcards. Next up, we have the Mongols versus Rare Atom. Okay, who will win? Let's see what he says. The matchup between Mongols and Rare Atom, two teams with strong roots in Asian CSGO and CS2 scenes, will be interesting. Clash of styles and strength. Let's break down both teams to understand the potential in such a matchup, which I don't want to read all. Both teams are the top 4. Rare Atom would likely to be the favorite one to win. Rare Atom is a safer bet. I don't believe in that, but we don't decide. ChatGPT decides this one. Okay, ChatGPT said we go with Rare Atom, then we'll go with Rare Atom there. Okay, the next matchup would be Pain Gaming versus Imperial Esports. Let's have a look. Who will win? Both teams have their strengths, but based on the recent form and history, we can make informed analysis. Okay, firepower and aggression experience. In terms of recent form, Pain Gaming is the more likely favorite in this matchup. That's all I wanted to know, so let's go. Pain Gaming is selected, so that's going to be the next matchups we have to determine and see what happens. Okay, for the second, third, and fourth, and our fifth stage, just to determine who's going to go 3-0, 3-1, 3-2, and 0-3, we'll just go a bit quicker. Next matchup with Furia Esports versus Rare Atom. Not going to read everything of that this time because it's just going to take too long. Let's let CHAT GPT work. For the final predictions, we have Furia Esports would be likely to win, but Rare Atom could certainly put up a strong fight. If Furia is firing on all cylinders and playing to their strengths, they should be able to take the series, but Rare Atom could make it a close and exciting match. Okay, so that's going to be Rare Furia, which is correct. Next one is Virtus.pro versus Wildcard. Okay, CHAT GPT does write a lot to every question. Final prediction is Virtus.pro would likely win, but Wildcard could cause some problems if they can disrupt VP's rhythm early. Prediction, Virtus.pro would likely win. Okay, that's all we need. This is Virtus.pro, which is selected already. Complexity versus Cloud9 would be the next one. Okay, this is funny. Blame F's leadership, one of the pillars of complexity. And JKS is an elite rifle and proof firepower to the roster main complexity dangerous team. JKS is not on complexity. Absolutely wrong. For the final prediction, we have Cloud9 that would likely win. So that means we will go with Cloud9. Next up, we have Big versus Pain Gaming. The final prediction is Big would likely win, so we'll go for Big Clan then instead, which is selected already. Next up, we have Team Liquid versus Imperial Esports. Okay, who would win? Team Liquid versus Imperial Esports. A match between Team Liquid and Imperial Esports would be a fascinating clash of styles, as both teams have notable strength but also clear differences in their roster compositions and recent performance. Let's break it down. The final prediction is Team Liquid would likely win, but Imperial Esports has the potential to make it competitive. If Imperial can develop Liquid's rhythm and play their strategy game to perfection, they could seal the map or make it close. However, Liquid's firepower and flexibility should give them the edge in this matchup. So let's go for Team Liquid, which is selected already. Next up, we have Fnatic versus Passion UA. In this matchup between Fnatic and Passion UA, Fnatic would almost certainly be the favorite, but let's break down the reasons why and look at both teams in more detail. For the final prediction, we have Fnatic would likely win, and while Passion UA could make it competitive, especially with strong individual performance, the experience and team play of Fnatic should give them the upper hand. So this would be Fnatic winning, which is selected already. So next up, we have the Mongols versus FlyQuest. Who will win, the Mongols or FlyQuest? Next question there for CHAT GPT in a matchup between Mongols and FlyQuest. FlyQuest would be the heavy favorite, but it's worth breaking down both teams' strengths and weaknesses to understand why. The final prediction is FlyQuest would likely win, but the Mongols could make it competitive if their star players perform exceptionally well and they manage to disrupt FlyQuest's control of the game. But they said FlyQuest would win, so CHAT GPT is always right. Let's go for FlyQuest in that matchup here. I don't think so, but that's the subject of the video, so we'll go with what CHAT GPT tells us. Next up, we have Gamer Legion versus MIBR. Who will win Gamer Legion versus MIBR? Let's see what CHAT GPT tells us. In a matchup between Gamer Legion and MIBR, Gamer Legion would be the slight favorite overall, but MIBR has the potential to make it competitive depending on the circumstances. Let's break down both teams to understand why. Okay, so the final prediction is Gamer Legion will likely win, but MIBR has the potential to make a close and competitive series. The tactical depth and coordination of Gamer Legion should be enough to outlast MIBR in the best of 3, though MIBR's experience and clutch potential could make it difficult to close out the match easily. Gamer Legion would likely win. That's the main prediction, so we'll go with Gamer Legion, which is selected already. Next up for the round 3, we have Furia versus Big. Who will win Furia versus Big? In a matchup between Furia and Big, Furia would generally be the favorite, but Big has the potential to make it competitive. Both teams are highly skilled, but their player styles differ significantly, and how the game unfolds could hinge on key factors like map control, individual performances, and adaptability. For the final prediction, Furia is likely to win, but Big has the tools to make it a close series, especially if they can neutralize Furia's fast tempo and execute their strategy effectively. The outcome will largely depend on how Furia manages to control the pace and whether they can maintain discipline in high pressure situations, which means Furia is likely to win, so we'll go on Furia, which is selected already. Cloud9 versus Virtus.pro for our next matchup. In a matchup between Cloud9 and Virtus.pro, Cloud9 would generally be the favorite, but Virtus.pro VP is a team with a lot of experience and can always be a dangerous opponent, particularly in high pressure situations. Let's break down both team strengths and weaknesses to get a clearer picture of how this matchup might unfold. Okay, for the final prediction, it's likely to be Cloud9 is likely the winner. The Virtus.pro could make it a very close series, especially if James can outsmart Cloud9 strategies or if VP can capitalize on key rounds in clutch situations. But that would be Cloud9 is likely the winner, so we would select Cloud9 on this one. For the next one, we have Complexity versus Fnatic. In a matchup between Complexity and Fnatic, it's a contest between two teams with different playstyles, but both with a lot of potential and talent. Let's dive into both teams' strengths and weaknesses to give a clearer picture of how this matchup could play out. For the final prediction, Fnatic is likely to win, but Complexity could put up a strong fight, especially if they execute their strategies well and leverage their individual firepower. Fnatic is likely to win. Let's go for Fnatic. Next up, we have Wildcard versus FlyQuest. In a matchup between Wildcard and Flycast, we have two different teams from different regions with distinct playstyles, and this could be an interesting series with a lot of potential for both teams. Let's break down their strengths and weaknesses to evaluate who might come out on top. Okay, for the final prediction, FlyQuest is likely to win, but Wildcard could definitely make a competitive series, especially if the tactical setups can catch FlyQuest off guard. If FlyQuest plays to their strength and executes their strategies well, they should take this one. So that's going to be FlyQuest as our prediction, which is selected already. Next up, we have Team Liquid versus Rare Atom. In a matchup between Team Liquid and Rare Atom, we have a clash of two teams from different regions. Team Liquid representing North America and Rare Atom from China. Both teams have unique playstyles and strengths, so let's break down their potential performance to predict who might come out on top. For the final prediction, we have Team Liquid as likely to win, but Rare Atom could make it a tough series, especially if they execute their strategies well and manage to disrupt Liquid's pace. If Liquid plays to their strength and wins key individual duels, they should come out on top. That's Team Liquid selected, which is correct here. Next up, we have Pain Gaming versus Gamer Legion. In a matchup between Pain Gaming and Gamer Legion, we have two teams from different regions. Pain Gaming hailing from Brazil and Gamer Legion from Europe. Both teams have their own distinct playstyles and strengths. Or let's break down their overall performance. Might come out on top in this series. Might come out on top. That's what CHAT GPT wrote a couple of times now. For the final prediction, we have Gamer Legion is likely the winner in this matchup due to their tactical cohesion and consistency. However, Pain Gaming has the potential to challenge them with their high-paced aggression and individual skill, so it could be a close and competitive series. But still, Gamer Legion is the one they pick, so we have to pick Gamer Legion. Next up, we have the MIBR versus Imperial Esports. In a matchup between MIBR and Imperial, both teams hail from the Brazilian CSGO scene, but they represent different stages of their respective organizations. MIBR are the most established team with a mix of experienced players and young talent, while Imperial has a roster built around veteran players who have seen success at the highest levels. Let's break down the key factors to assess who might come out on top. Okay, for the final prediction, Imperial is likely to win given their experience and ability to execute high-pressure moments. However, MIBR is a talented team and could definitely challenge Imperial, especially if their fragging power is on point. It could be a close series, but Imperial's veteran players and calmness throughout the series should give them the edge. So Imperial would be the choice, which we'll go with. Next up, we have Passion UA versus the Mongols. Passion UA versus the Mongols. In a matchup between Passion UA and the Mongols, who we have two teams from distinct regions. Passion UA representing Ukraine and Mongols from Mongolia. Both teams had some exposure to international play, but they come from different levels of experience and their playstyles can vary quite a bit. Let's break down the strengths and weaknesses to get a better sense of who might come out on top. For the final prediction, the Mongols is more likely to win given their aggressive playstyle and firepower. However, if Passion UA can slow down the pace and execute their strategies well, they have a chance to take the series. The Mongol explosive entries and fast-paced play will likely be the key factor in securing the win. So next up would be the Mongols, which is chosen already. Next up, we have the round 4 matches. Team Liquid versus Fnatic. Team Liquid or Fnatic. A matchup between Team Liquid and Fnatic is always exciting, given they're both storied organizations with rich histories in Counter-Strike. Team Liquid from North America has a star-studded roster and has been on top contender internationally, while Fnatic, hailing from Sweden, is the most successful European team with a legendary legacy. Let's break down the strengths and weaknesses of each team to predict who might come out on top in this match. For the final prediction, Team Liquid is likely to win, but Fnatic will be a tough opponent. If Liquid is playing at their best, particularly in terms of individual fragging, they should be able to overpower Fnatic. However, Fnatic's discipline and tactical approach will make it a close, competitive series. Liquid's firepower and flexibility should give them the edge in this matchup. Okay, so that means Liquid would be the team win, selected already. Next up, we have Virtus.pro versus FlyQuest. The matchup between Virtus.pro and FlyQuest is an interesting one, as it pits a team with a legacy of success in CSGO against a relatively newer organization that has been making waves in the competitive scene. Let's dive into both team strengths and weaknesses to get a better sense of who might come out on top in this matchup. Okay, for the final prediction, Virtus.pro is likely to win, while FlyQuest's aggression and individual skill can make them dangerous opponents. VP's experience, tactical depth, and ability to play patiently will probably give them the slightest edge in this matchup. So let's go for Virtus.pro, selected already. Big versus Gamer Legion as a next up match here. The matchup between Big and Gamer Legion promises to be an exciting clash between two strong different teams from different regions, each with its own unique playstyle and strengths. To predict the outcome, let's break down both teams and see how they compare in terms of gameplay, firepower, and overall dynamics. Big is likely the winner thanks to their tactical depth, experience, and ability to control the game. However, Gamer Legion's aggressive playstyle and strong firepower make them a dangerous opponent, and if they can impose, they might just have a shot at pulling off an upset. Big's experience and discipline will probably win out in the end, but expect a competitive series. So that's Big winning according to CHAT GPT, which is what we're going to be choosing. It's selected already. Next up, we have Complexity versus Imperial. Complexity or Imperial. The matchup between Complexity and Imperial is an intriguing one, with two teams that have contrasting contrasting dynamics and strengths. Complexity is a team with a more international roster and a solid presence in North American CSGO, while Imperial features a more experienced squad that includes some seasoned veterans of the game. For our final prediction, Imperial is likely the winner thanks to their experience, leadership, and clutch potential. While Complexity has the tools to compete, Imperial's veterans are likely to edge them out in this matchup, particularly in high-pressure moments. So that means we have to go with an Imperial pick, which we'll go to. Next up, we have Wildcard versus the Mongols. The matchup between Wildcard and the Mongols presents an interesting clash of playstyles and team dynamics, and the outcome will largely depend on how each team handles each other's strengths and weaknesses. Let's break down both teams and analyze their potential and come out on top. Okay, for the final prediction, the Mongols is likely the winner in this matchup, primarily due to their aggressive playstyle, firepower, and ability to dictate the pace of the game. Wildcard will need to execute their strategies perfectly and avoid being overwhelmed by the Mongols' speed. If they can manage to play their game and slow down the tempo, Wildcard could potentially find success, but the Mongols' fast, aggressive, naturally likes give them here the edge. That means we'll go with the Mongols, which is selected already. Rare Atom versus Pain Gaming. The Rare Atom versus Pain Gaming matchup is an exciting one, and it pits a team with strong Asian roots against a top Brazilian squad. Both teams bring their own strengths and weaknesses to the table, and the outcome will depend on how well each squad executes their respective playstyle. Let's break down both teams to see who might come out on top. For the final prediction, Pain Gaming is likely to win this matchup, while Rare Atom has the potential to dominate with their aggression and raw firepower. Pain's structured approach, experience, and ability to control the tempo will likely be the deciding factors. If Pain can withstand the initial aggression from Rare Atom and slow down their pace, they should be able to outmaneuver and outlast them in the long run. Pain Gaming is the prediction. We'll go with Pain Gaming, which is selected already. So we've got our 3-0 and our 0-3 picks already. The last three matchups will determine who actually comes through out of the opening stage. Next up, we have Gamer Legion versus the Mongols. The matchup between Gamer Legion and the Mongols promises to be an exciting one, with both teams showcasing different strengths and playstyles. To predict the outcome, let's break down both teams and assess how they stack up against each other. For the final prediction, Gamer Legion is likely to win this matchup, while the Mongols are dangerous due to their explosive firepower and fast-paced aggression. Gamer Legion's tactical discipline, strong team play, and experience in structured play should give them the edge. If Gamer Legion can control the tempo and neutralize the Mongols' aggression, they will have the advantage in this series. So that would be Gamer Legion as our next one. Next up, we have Pain Gaming versus Fnatic. The matchup between Pain Gaming and Fnatic is an intriguing one, featuring a Brazilian powerhouse going up against the elite European team with a rich legacy of Fnatic. Both teams have their strengths and weaknesses, and the result will come down to how well they can execute their respective playstyles, as well as their ability to adapt in the heat of competition. For the final prediction, Fnatic is likely to win this matchup. If Pain Gaming can disrupt Fnatic's game plan or impose their own tempo, they will struggle and compete with Fnatic's overall skill and experience. Fnatic would be our next one, which is selected already. Next up and last, we have FlyQuest versus Imperial Esports. Okay, for the last matchup, who will win, FlyQuest or Imperial? The matchup between FlyQuest and Imperial Esports is an interesting one, as both teams are relatively new to the international CSGO scene compared to some of more established powerhouses, but they both have a potential to upset higher ranked teams. Well, it's not CSGO, it's CS2, so CHAT GPT is definitely up to date. Let's break down the strengths, weaknesses, and playstyles of both squads and predict how this matchup might unfold. Okay, for the final prediction, Imperial Esports is likely to win, while FlyQuest has the individual skill and momentum to cause problems for Imperial. The tactical strength, Imperial experience, and mental toughness of Imperial should allow them to take control in a series and eventually grind out a victory. So that's for our last match. Imperial will win this one, and now we have our final results. We have the 3-0 for Cloud9 Furia. We have 3-1 for Team Liquid Big and Virtus Pro. We have 3-2 for Gamer Legion, Imperial, and Fnatic. And for the 0-3, we have MIBR and Passion UA. So that means for our final pickems, I don't like them at all. I don't recommend doing this because this is really bad. Some things could be correct, but ChatGPT is not up to date, still talking about CSGO, has the rosters most of the time completely wrong. JKS doesn't play with complexity. Okay, so for our 3-0, we have Cloud9 and Furia, which is the 3-0-1 to go through. For the normal advancing, we have Team Liquid, Big, and Virtus Pro with 3-1. Then we have for the 3-2, how we have Gamer Legion, Imperial, and Fnatic. What? It doesn't, at the end, it doesn't look look too wrong. Big has a good chance. Virtus Pro has a good chance. Team Liquid in general. Fnatic, legendary team, okay, but not with the power roster they had years ago. Imperial is decent. Gamer Legion, I mean, they were at the last CSGO major in the, what was that, semi-finals, quarterfinals, one of them. Cloud9 Furia out of this group, definitely a chance to go 3-0, so not that unlikely. And for the 0-3, we actually have MIBR and Passion UA. I don't think Passion UA would be correct because Passion UA had very, very strong matches in the RMRs, so that could be wrong. MIBR, not too sure about that. If I would choose those two, I would say Rare Atom and FlyQuest, but that's just what I said. I said I'll do it with a Chat GPT, so let's save the picks. Let's see what we actually have if the outcome would be correct. I'm not too sure if I'm happy with the picks. It doesn't look too unreasonable, to be honest, but we'll see what happens after the first stage of the major is actually finished and the opening stage is done. So let's see what happens then. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, leave a like and comment down below what you would have picked yourself or what pickings you have. That would be interesting to know for me. Let me know down in the comments as well if you want to see me do the same thing for the elimination stage. Maybe or maybe not, depends on how these pick'ems actually go. Let's see what happens. And otherwise, I'll just make a video on the elimination stage anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, guys, that was it for the video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.